What do you guys think about blue lipstick? Anyone think it's a little weird? Like if someone was at the grocery store and they were rocking dark blue lipstick, you might think, oh, that's different. Or maybe you would say something a little ruder. Why is it weird? We see it in nature, the skies, flowers, even people in this room have blue eyes. So can't we consider blue a natural color? Last October, I went to my little cousin's birthday party with dark purple lipstick on, and I walked in and all the adults kind of gave me the quick double glance, smile, oh, hi. Realized my lips are purple and sudden neck break to stare at my lips. Oh my. My 9-year-old cousin said she thought it was kind of weird, and when I asked why, she couldn't answer. The younger kids loved it. Bright colors, am I right? Notice the older the person, the weirder they thought it was. Why? Because with time, we are conditioned to think certain things are normal, and subsequently, certain things are not normal. Fun fact, I'm a makeup artist. I do beauty and special effects, which is like the zombies you see in The Walking Dead and any other zombie movie. One day I was buying makeup and I saw blue lipstick and I thought, hey, why not? I got it and it was such a pretty color, I loved it. Soon I had blue, I had purple, I had gray, I had every cool tone color under the sun. And my mom would complain every time I walked out of the house with blue or purple, and she'd shake her head and beg me not to because everyone around us was going to think it was kind of weird, but oh well, right? I've realized that people can make whatever assumptions they want about me because why would I want to be friends with someone who judges solely on appearance? Anyways, why is blue lipstick weird? People will say blue isn't a natural color, well, neither was red, nor was pink, but everyone is fine with those colors now. They haven't always been normal. We need to start somewhere with change, though, so why not start here? Blue lipstick is weird because we grew up being told it was weird. It's just a color. But I get it. Blue lipstick isn't for everyone. But what about gravity? Gravity is for everyone. Raise your hand if you've thought about gravity recently, like really sat down and had a heavy-duty thinking session about gravity. It's kind of funny that not many of us think about it, even though it's acting on us every day, right? Well, most of us, I'd hope. I'm a little worried if it's not. But anyway, we see it every day, so isn't it a little weird? But is it because we experience it every day that we stopped paying attention to it? We've just stopped paying attention to the giant magnetic force holding us to the floating rock, keeping us from being flung into space? Of course we do, because we do it with everything. I'm assuming many of you have a steady lifestyles that are pretty similar on the day-to-day. Usually when people think of a steady job, they have the 40 hours a week with the 9-to-5 schedule. No one really thinks of the word danger, though. But these lifestyles are so dangerous because they're so repetitive. Now, I'm not saying repetition is bad, not trying to step on any toes here, but it is dangerous. Well, how can it be dangerous? I know what to expect. I can plan for everything. Yes, but when you know what to expect and when you're planning for everything, are you really doing it or is it your autopilot? When we live these repetitive lives, we can easily fall victim to becoming daywalkers. People who shuffle around, getting the same thing at lunch every day, talking to the same people with the occasional small talk in the elevator. We forget to think about gravity. But what's even scarier is we forget to think about emotion. Usually when you fall into this daywalking pattern, you don't feel much unless there's something going wrong. Your brain is on autopilot until your boss walks in and says, Danny, you screwed up. And suddenly your brain wakes up and flips out, oh my God, what did I do? How can I fix this? Who's Danny? In these moments, we're finally awake, but only until the crisis is over. When you walk by that same coworker every day on the way to coffee, you don't say anything because your brain is off. You're just following schedule. Why would it need to be on? You're just getting coffee. Maybe the occasional small talk, but never anything groundbreaking. Don't you want amazing interactions with other humans, though? Do me a favor. Look at the person next to you. And I don't mean a quick glance. I mean turn your heads and look them in the eyes. Don't say a word. I'm telling you right now, it's not awkward. A lot of people might... I said it's not awkward, guys. Don't worry. The awkwardness is gone because the weird speaker on stage made you look at him. But really, go ahead and look. Now look back at me. Do you guys want to know one of my favorite words? It's not really a word because it hasn't been established in Merriam-Webster, but I saw the term online and I've always loved it. Sonder. Sonder is the realization that everyone around you is living an equally detailed life. Almost everyone you look at has an uncle. My uncle has friends. Your uncle has friends. Their friends have dentists. Those dentists have cousins. And somewhere along the line, those cousins may know each other. And suddenly, there's this basically invisible connection between you and the person you pass walking down the street. Sonder is realizing that we're all connected, but despite that connection, we may never see it. Look at the same person from before, but now look at them knowing what Sonder is. Look them in the eyes and realize those eyes have seen things you will never see, and your eyes have seen things they can never see. Realize they have dreams and aspirations, and realize they have uncles. I hope more than anything you walk out of here today thinking about Sonder every time you're out in public and you see a stranger. It's a horrible thing to wish upon someone, and I would know because it curses you to have emotion. I can't fathom someone going around and considering the concept of Sonder and not feeling some sort of emotion. To me, that's like not being interested by space or the depths of the ocean. In high school, I hit a really rough patch. My freshman year, I had a 3.9 GPA. Pretty good. Every quarter after that, my GPA fell farther and farther. I had been in an advanced program in middle school, which ended up with me being in advanced classes in high school. The problem was I wasn't ready for those classes, but because I was in the advanced program, I had no choice but to take them. I started failing. Every day became a nightmare because of one class, and it started tanking my GPA, and then I slowly started giving up on other classes because what was the point? I didn't want to do anything. I started asking, what was the point of me sitting in these pointless classes for 8 hours a day when all I wanted was to go out and make movies? I barely graduated. I had to beg my teacher for extra credit because I failed all my tests. I was a 3-season athlete. By senior year, I dropped all of them because I didn't feel like putting in the effort anymore. I didn't even feel like a human most days. I didn't feel like anything most days. I made a joke I was going through a midlife crisis at 17 because I didn't know how else to say that everything felt wrong. My high school career from late sophomore year up until the middle of my most recent summer vacation is little more than a blur. I didn't feel anything at graduation. I didn't even want to go because I felt like I didn't graduate because half of my classes were just a D- sitting on paper. How did I go from being an honor student to barely making it through? Because I didn't know how to deal. After a decade plus of being one of the best students, I had no clue what to do when I got something lower than a B. After all, in the eyes of society, isn't it wrong to not be a good student? The school system races by those of us who can't keep up, and we fall through the cracks, and it lets us. And none of us can catch up after a certain point because the momentum is too fast. I was 17, and I didn't feel alive. I want you to feel things. Because when you start day walking like I did, the momentum of time picks up around you. Days start passing by quicker, weeks, months, a year or two. You're only really alive for the stressful times because autopilot doesn't know what to do with those, but once you're over, boom, back to autopilot, and you're just wasting your life away. There are people sitting in hospital beds wishing they could leave that room and feel alive for one more day, wishing they could feel anything one last time. Happiness, sadness, anger, passion, life. Meanwhile, millions of us are just shuffling along, waiting for Friday to come, ignoring gravity and ignoring the fact that everyone has an uncle. Society doesn't teach us to care about these things, and that makes us cold. I don't want you to waste any more of your life. I want you to feel everything, including the bad things, because you need the bad to feel the good, and sometimes feeling something bad is good because at least you're feeling something other than satin and oak wood 6 feet under. Revel in every emotion you come by. You have to go home and mow the grass? Revel in how angry that makes you. Say, damn you, grass, and swear the grass your mortal enemy. And after that, go get some ice cream and think about how sweet it is. The next time you get on a bus and there's an empty seat, think about how nice it is to have an empty seat on the crowded bus. When you go on YouTube and that video doesn't buffer, thank everything you believe in for that. Because when we fall into the motions of the day, we stop being human. We become these autonomous beings taking up space and moving about, but we're not actually living. It's easy to fall into these motions as soon as something bad happens because no one wants to feel pain. No one wants to have to deal with those emotions. And society isn't warning us about these things, it just lets us fall as it flies by. The second you go through these motions every day, you stop living. You just become some physical thing taking up space. Congrats. You're something gravity is holding down, but what are you besides that? In middle school, and even now, I really loved Fall Out Boy. It's a band. One of my favorite lyrics from them is, "You are what you love." You are everything you care about. And on the flip side, you are everything you hate. You are made up of everything that you feel, and to ignore that is to ignore the fact that you're alive. So feel everything. Don't go through the motions. Meet everyone. Understand there is more than what you see. Feel gravity. Remember the uncles. Don't let the norms of society knock you down. If you're going to fall out of social momentum, swan dive out and do what makes you happy. Wear your blue lipstick.